Hey guys, how you all doing today? And welcome back to another video. And this week we're going to be working on a fan art of a character that I used to draw quite a bit, especially around the time when experimenting new ideas for my future pieces and stuff. And the character is Rias Gremory from High School DxD. So this is what I choose for this week. I've been wanting to do a new one for a long time, and so decided to work on this one this week's stream. And it won't be the last time I'll be drawing her too, because I do some like automotive pinup stuff around the time when I was first doing that idea. So this won't be the last time you'll see me draw Rias Gremory. So let's go ahead and get started. There we go. Alright, I gotta get myself moved. Come here, where is me at? There you go. Alright, so pretty much I start out the stream very minimal. So pretty much start with like a very base sketch, and then pretty much start working from there. And this is night one, so this is Tuesday night stream. So like I have a lot of ideas I want to do on this piece, and it ended up taking me a lot longer, to the point where I ended up getting like so like into the piece I did not want to put the pencil down. So like this is one of the pieces I just went full force and just like, okay, I'm just gonna try this out, I'm gonna try that out. So we're getting started on the line art now. And I'm telling you, the hair was insane amount of work. And that's why this is why I like drawing Rias Gremory so much years ago. I was still understanding how to draw anime hair, and then later on try to figure out my own styling cues to making making hair textures and the design and everything for the characters, which is the reason why we got to today, to this point. So this is like I think the last time I draw Rias Gremory was about 5 years ago. Wait a minute, scratch that. 4 years ago, because it was around 2021. Did a kind of like a pit-up motorcycle kind of thing. So almost like the idea, if you ever heard of a magazine called Easy Riders magazine, and experiment with that, especially at the time when I was trying to get more into motorcycles, which I eventually will come back to. And years ago, like, that piece did phenomenal in the shows that I went to. I went to a whole bunch of motorcycle rallies years ago around that time too. So like the entire time I was looking forward to seeing like what the hair's gonna look like now, with everything being changed from back then to now. And pretty much it's like I don't sketch out, a full rendering of what I want to do with the hair. I usually like to do everything freehand, making the patterns on my own without sketching everything out. Had to do a little bit of adjustment to her hair on the head, and it's just like trying to make sure that your center point is lined up how the face, the center point of the face looks, because like that hair, it's got the arch kind of thing. So I had to do some adjustments, and now we're just getting started on the actual like full length of her hair. And this one ended up being like a very long video to edit out, because there's a lot of things that I need to, do some cuts for, because of like the BRBs and stuff like that, which you'll see another one probably, because it's kind of difficult to keep a track on all, you know, all the BRBs or all the like the game readies and the video game parts of the stream. So yeah. So now we're off we pretty much finished off the first night of the stream, and this is the next day now. And I'm doing this from the iPad using an app called Easy Canvas. Yeah, it's pretty much what it does. It turns your iPad Pro, or just a generic iPad actually, into a full-on graphics tablet for your PC. It works. It's not very fluent like I'm used to doing like the stuff right from the iPad or right from 100% from the PC with the graphics tablet. It's like those two things are not supposed to work together, and it's understandable that there would be some glitches. So get on the eye, get your eye thing up. And it's like, it's not like a regular piece 2 what I'm doing. There's some new things that I'm gonna start doing with the backgrounds and everything, which you will see tonight. And from there, pretty much her line art is pretty much finished up, other than doing the details in the hair. But we are not far from getting started doing the grayscaling for getting this whole coloring process started, and the big journey that's going to happen here right now. I need to move myself again. But in some ways I ended up moving position just a little bit. And it's like the detail of the hair, that took a while to do. And same thing with the grayscaling, which you're going to be seeing here in a bit. And I try to not cut too much stuff, or, you know, because like I don't want to make the videos to be like almost an hour long or more. So there's parts like I have to either push the speed a little bit more, or have to do a little bit of cut to help bring down this one for the size of the videos, which majority of the time, like one stream itself is like about between 60 to 80 gigabytes. So it gets really like heavy. The videos get very heavy on here. So pretty much doing the selection, so it makes it a little bit easier to do the erasing of whatever the layout and everything from the hair. And I'm thankful that I figured out about that selection tool. Don't mind me, like before I got started doing this recording right now, I was waiting for the past all the video content that I did, all the recordings of this piece. I had to wait for like an hour for it to finish editing, so I was playing some games while I was waiting. And I'm telling you, I'm loving Doom: The Dark Ages so far. I'm really, really loving it. And it's like, I said this on stream that I'm not gonna continue playing this off stream, but I wanted to play this game. I want to play the game like when I'm available to play it too. So I made a totally separate file and get comfortable with the game. And it's like, it's to the point where it's like I don't mind replaying the levels all over again. But I'm not gonna remember every single thing that happened, all the things that the secrets and everything. But it's like, if you got a modern Xbox or a really good PC, which I'm surprised this laptop is doing pretty good with So it's like it could be able to do like minimum specs, and this is me using the AOR laptop, not the desktop. And I might be able to play it on the desktop, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that actually. Yeah, yeah. You know what? I probably will. Because, like, majority of the time, I want to keep this thing 100% set up for playing, you know, for not playing, but for doing all the video editing, the video game, you know, the art, you know, setting up for artworks to print and everything. So it's like, I'm trying to keep it 100% a work PC, but it'd be nice to try to shift the computer to play other games, to play games on that too every now and then, especially all my games are on a hard drive, so I can be able to pass it around. I would think so, because I think I've tried it before. So we're pretty much getting into the darker areas of the hair, which is pretty much the final stage of the grayscale of the hair. Because like during time I'm talking, and it's like we're still in the entire process of getting the hair done. But I'm telling you, when this was finished, it's like the colors were so vibrant, the red, the hair, and everything. And I did some. I originally gonna stick with, like, you know, just the way it is right now, not like where we're at right now, but when the idea was finished. And I got a not safe for work version that I'll be working on off camera too, because I gotta do some tweaking to make things work for doing the edit. So what I did is I played around a little bit. This is where we get to the point where I did not put down the pencil or the graphics tab, the XP Pens pen. Like I did not want to put it down. I just got very experimental. It's like, ooh, what is it? What would happen if I tried this? What happens if I tried that or this or that? So like at the end of the second version, and like I really like the idea, and I might actually do this as a theme too. So like bunny suit themed stuff actually, because this was fun, and I hope it turns out pretty good on social media. So if you guys just see me through YouTube, you haven't checked me out on different social media platforms, I highly recommend. So check me out on Instagram, X, and Blue Sky for everything under MadWorldImages. Or if you want something that's like more, you know, family friendly kind of stuff, so not a lot of the pinups, you can go on MadWorldImages new on Facebook for that too. And this piece would not be posted on Facebook. It's a little bit more on the rush side for the families that's follow me on Facebook. So yeah, it's like even just this stage for the hair is like it's very vibrant. Have fun with the face, you know. It's like it's one of the things, like, I did so much practicing, experimenting, different ideas, and it's finally come together onto a one piece. And then, you know, the last week piece I did Cha-Cha Your V-Mom, VTuber. That was like a test to see how I wanted to do with the backgrounds and some details and everything. It's like we're pretty much, I'll say we're getting close to finishing the grayscaling so far. pause. And it's like I said, it's like there is so much things to cut and edit. I probably look over some stuff, and that's one of them right there. That one pause. But it's a lot of work. It's like I'm not a fan of doing video editing the majority of the time, so this is something very different. And while I'm talking to you guys, I'll get things set up for me to post on social media or the YouTube video. But which I'll be posting the video on YouTube here tonight, so be ready for that as well. Make sure I gotta make this stuff in a swallow. Alright, so pretty much we're getting started on getting the base colors down. So the gradient, so flopping the gradients into the colors. And we are not far from getting to night 2 of the night 2, which that's Friday night. Because pretty much once I finished up the eyes, I'm pretty much ready to go for Friday night stream. Yeah, I did a little bit of experimenting, which you'll see in the eyes. I started to try to do like more patterns, more trippy kind of stuff like I do with my backgrounds and everything. And play around with the gradient mapping. You could really make some really cool effects, so that's why I want to try it out. Alright. So now we are in the starting process of doing the shadowing, which I tried something different. Like I tried something different that I did on last week's stream that I really liked. Did some like little bit of effects on the shadowing, and I actually made like the soft shadowings or the lighter shadows a little bit more vibrant kind of color. So it was a totally different process, and it's like right now I pretty much originally started the idea of doing how I did originally from only just a couple weeks that I've been doing for a while. So this is like the second piece that I'm experimenting with the shadowing and the lighting, which you'll be seeing that in a sec, because this was around time I was just kind of like contemplating. It's like, in ways it just looks a little bit too dark for her. Because like other than the bunny suit itself, it's a very bright colored piece. Yeah, I think some of the shadowing may be a little bit too much for what I'm thinking. So you see me changing the color a little bit. So now it's a little bit more opaque, a little bit more vibrant. So that's why I was experimenting with last week's stream with the VTuber piece. And did use the same blue that I use for doing the harsher shadows. And it's like, I really like how the colors turn out for that. And it's like, it's still a shadow, but it's given it a color, given it another color, you know what I mean? pretty much get started here. That's another big step. Pretty much the shadowing, the hair color and shadowing is like the two biggest things on these pieces, and this one really screams it. Yeah, it's like pretty much when I'm done doing this recording, I'm gonna get this posted, add the music, get this edited and everything, and get it set up for ready for YouTube. In the alternate version, I will be, you know, like I said, I'll be working on it on and off during the week, because like just to give you guys a reminder, I got the stream that is on May 31st, which is this coming Saturday, and it's going to be a collaboration stream called Draw with Mad, and I got an artist that's going to be joining me on the first like stream doing this, so we'll see how things go, and it's probably going to be something we're going to keep on doing, because I want to do more collaborations, not just streaming, but doing stuff with artists as well, especially the ones I've been communicating with, following. And then we're getting started with the latex look to the bunny suit. I think this is where we're about done with the night too. And that's where I pretty much figure out like this is gonna take me all weekend to get this done. So pretty much getting like a base started, and that's pretty much it for night one, night two. So pretty much this week's last stream, and now pretty much this is off stream right now. I'm doing from here to the end, pretty much from here to finish. So it took me a little bit to figure out on doing this texture. I don't really do a whole lot of like latex kind of stuff, or really get to be able to learn on how to do it very much. So this turned out really nice, and make sure to remember to do this on future pieces, this routine. But after finishing like that texture, it's like, alright, this piece is gonna look pretty nuts. Took me a minute to figure out, but hey, looked great. I hope you guys like it as well. It's like doing a little bit of the white lines on the seams. Now we get started with the bunny ears. Sorry, I'm just kind of hypnotized by by the recording, seeing how fast it's going, and just watching all the entire process all over again. But yeah, so like right now I'm getting some of the shadowing darken up on certain areas where it should be a little bit darker. It's because like you see her body, it's kind of like twisted a little bit, so the right side, right thigh needs to be a little bit darker, so that's why I just ended up doing that. And pretty much like doing like little touch-ups here and there, and then getting started with the fun little details and whatever stuff that needs to get corrected. Because like pretty much at this point I was really invested on the piece, and this is where I did not want to drop the pen at all. Even though I'm not done yet, but I'm already pretty much saying it's like, all right, this is probably like I said, it's going to be like a weekend long piece to finish, and yeah, it did. But I'm happy how it turned out, and the final results is, you know, look great for me. Pretty much getting started with the lighting and everything. And it helps to just kind of start out with the hair, especially how big it is and how much is the focal point pretty much. And then pretty much start doing on the body as well, like the thighs and everything. Sometimes it's just a little easier doing like the bigger parts first, and then get into the body, clothes, to, you know, whatever. Sometimes the hair is a good starting point for doing the lighting and shadowing. Not lighting and shadowing, but lighting in general. It's like there's certain areas where I had a little bit of lighting to it to kind of just help, because like depending like how the lighting is kind of set up, it makes sense for some parts to add a little bit of brightness to part of the hair. And then gradually just kind of get a little bit brighter, start doing a little bit extra parts to it. Now we're getting to the body, skin tone, the skin pretty much. And now pretty much playing around with the eyes, kind of making the eyes a little bit brighter. It's a little bit too dark for like the shadowing, and this is where I'm starting to experiment more, and I started doing more stuff with the eyelashes now too. And this is like the second piece that I'm experimenting with that. So now that you're seeing right now, I'm adding I forget what they're called, like screen textures or something like that. They use them a lot for comics. They're like tiny little dots for doing shadowings for black and white, you know, for manga stuff. So I started implementing them into the lighting and parts of the shadowing. It kind of gives a little bit of texture to it. Not really texture, honestly. Just kind of give it a little bit more of a little extra detail. And we're pretty much like at the end process of the character, pretty much. Again, the extra lighting kind of gives some sheen to some areas. Make the eyes a little bit more vibrant. And I kind of mess with the line art of the eyes too. And I like the idea that I figured out. It's like I had a little bit of a blue hue to it instead of just being like, you know, just black line art. And that just kind of just makes it really pop. Pretty much doing a little bit of cleanup. Now we're getting started in the background. This is where we're going to get interesting. This is a app called Magic Fluids. You can find it on Steam. It's dirt cheap to get. It's a fluid simulation, and pretty much you use your finger. You can use it on the iPad Pro too. And you can either use your finger if you have a touch screen, or your mouse, or like what I did on this with my graphics tab. I use my pen, and you can save the image and be able to, you know, export it into your pictures or, you know, your computer files. So this is where I was getting very, like, this is where I couldn't put it down. I just keep messing around, playing around, just trying out effects that I have, some of the pet brushes I have for a while and never been able to use them very much. This is one of them. I think they're called like copy stamps. So it's doing like a corrupt digital texture, pretty much. And that's what I wanted to do, is kind of make it look like it's the figure of her is kind of like pixelate, you know, kind of corrupted in a way. And this is where, like, I have another idea that I'm gonna do, the second, like, alternation of her. And this is something similar that I did from last week's stream, so this is the idea that I'm gonna start doing with the backgrounds, getting very, like, crazy on detail. And then doing that screen, you know, those dots again. There we go. Here we go. So I'd make it look like the fishnets are glowing. There is actually a content creator. I gotta bring this artist up. And I've been following this animator for a long time. And, like, this person does some phenomenal work. But, like, this is the inspiration towards that artist. Once this is finished, we'll get the name up for you guys. Do a little bit of underglow with the bow. And here we go. Alright, so now we got not just the base piece, but another alternation of Rias Gremory piece. So the one on the far left, you know, the far right, it's the experiment, and you have the base one on the other side. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys, and look out for more feature stuff. And like I said, I got another stream next week, so not just 2 streams this coming week, but it's going to be 3. Tuesday night and Friday night, my normal stream. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to work on that night. Might even bring my markers back out again. That's what I'm thinking, anyways. And then Saturday night, the day after the second stream, and this is where we're going to be doing the Draw with Mad stream. So I highly recommend following me on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and Facebook under MadWorldImages for those updates, because it's just around the corner. And yeah, and if you like what you see, like and subscribe, and you'll see my past streams of the past artworks I've been working on these last several years. But until then, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Have an awesome one.